What is up, guys? I am back over here at Street and Trail Performance in Lincolnton, North Carolina, and we're going to be doing Raven's first oil change, and we're going to be flushing her rear differential. Now, unfortunately, I've got a little bit of whine in the rear end. I've had it since I bought it, and I'm hoping that it's nothing major. Some people have said maybe pinion bearings, wheel hubs. We'll just have to see, but I'm gonna have Mitchell look at it, and that'll probably give me a little more peace of mind. So stay tuned. Yeah, just point out anything you think is nice for an 11-year-old car.
The lack of rust underneath here is phenomenal. I mean, even your bolts just have surface rust. They're not even flaky yet. All the rust that you see is all surface rust. There's a little bit up there, but that can be easily cleaned.
You don't think I got anything to worry about?
Absolutely not, man.
All right, guys, I just wanted to show you what I'm putting in this thing. The previous owner, I think he owned this vehicle for about 5 years, and he said the only oil that it's ever had in it was AMSOIL. And then we're gonna flush that rear differential and hope that whining goes away. So we're using the AMSOIL Severe Gear, 100% synthetic. And this stuff is good for, I think, 12,000 miles, but I'm still gonna change it around every 8,000 miles. But we'll see what it does. Let's hope it clears up that tick too.
Ready?
All right, so the truck is in neutral, and he's definitely got some movement there. So looks like it's gonna be pinion bearings, you think?
Yes, sir.
So with that amount of movement, are they pretty rough?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
So if you're wondering, guys, this thing holds 7 quarts of oil. So it is going to be a little pricier to change, especially if you're using the AMSOIL. But she deserves it.
We got a slight buildup down here, but it's a seep, if anything.
Gotcha.
And it's so little you can't even tell where it's coming from. It might be coming out of this coolant line. I've seen that these O-rings tend to fail after some time.
Gotcha.
With it not actually being wet, just having that little layer there, I wouldn't stress it.
Crank it, see if we can hear the tick, see if you can identify the tick. Yeah, you can hear it. So it's got a tick. Do I? How the hell can you hear that and say you've got it back cold back?
I had a Ford in here 4 months ago that made the same noise.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Here's to hoping the tick's a bad coil pack.
It's going to be one of these three.
So maybe I'm ignorant, but I didn't know the coil pack actually made a noise.
So they don't. What happens with them, go ahead and cut that off. What happens with them, they short out through the boot to the bottom, or the head.
And that's what you hear.
And if it's bad enough, like at one that we had a few months ago, you could see the spark shoot across. So what I would recommend with that is go ahead and run through, replace them all, and that should clear up that noise altogether.
So when you do it, you would do new spark plugs, all that shit at the same time.
Yep, new plugs and pulls. I will say that is a pretty expensive one. I want to say,
Guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this, but I'm going to let off the gas and see if you can hear the gear whine. Do you hear it? I'll try to do it one more time. It's pretty bad right there. With the radio on or the air conditioner on, you don't hear it. But again, once you get up to speed and then let off the gas, you really hear it. But here we go. And there it is. So if you can't hear it in the video, it's kind of like a grind and a whine all together. So I started the video at Street and Trail Performance where I was going to be just showing the oil change and the rear differential fluid flush. I had a sneaking suspicion that I had a gear problem because on the third day of owning the truck, I didn't have the air conditioner on, didn't have the radio on, and when I was just coasting, I heard like a grinding and a whine noise. So of course, I showed you the footage where the drive shaft moves up and down, showing that the pinion bearings were gone. But I thought it was more than that because the pinion bearings would be a constant noise. And I was only getting a noise and whine on deceleration. So Mitchell drove the Raptor, and sure enough, it needs gears. And I've got a tick in the engine that seems to be caused by a coil pack. I think one of the previous owners knew about this issue because I can see 2 wires are new and 2 wires are old. So maybe they had tried to start diagnosing this issue. So I'm also going to have some coil pack issues. So we're going to have about $4,000 of maintenance in a truck I've had for 6 weeks, which really sort of blows, but it is what it is when you buy something old. And I still don't regret buying it because, I mean, I love her already. So let's try to get this stuff handled.
oh, look at all that glitter in there. Alright, what's up guys? It's Mitch from Street and Trail. We're going through here with the gears, going into Jeremy's Raptor. So let's open these up. This box is from Ford's. First, it comes with instructions just for if you're doing a pinion service on it, like if you're changing the seal or changing the bearings and seals all together. Inside this little bag here, we've got some pinion bearings and a new crush seal. We got ring gear bolts. We got a pinion there. It's a pretty hefty pinion. Weird that it necks down so far. And if we keep on digging, eventually we get to the ring gear. Now we're going back in here with a 410 ring gear. You can see it right there, it's stamped into the gear. Now if we go over, we've got outer axle seals and bearings for the rear axle shaft. Those come standard when we rebuild a differential in the rear. For fronts, you'll just get inner axle shaft seals. And we got a master install kit from Yukon. This comes with carrier bearings, pinion shims, carrier shims so you can get the backlash dialed in, a new pinion nut, new pinion seal, and a crush sleeve. I overlooked that. Also going back together, we're gonna put a lube locker in there. That way it's easier to change the gear oil when he decides to do it. You don't have to clean off RTV or anything like that. It's just on and off. All of these goodies right here came from East Coast Gear Supply. That is where we get most of our gear supplies from. They're fairly local to us, about 3 hours away, and they take great care of us. All right, so with these C-clip axles, you got to take this bolt out of here. Set that off in our bin. Now, we'll reach in, start working this pin out. Roll our differential down. So we got that center pin out. He pushed in on the axle shaft. Just grab that C-clip, pull it off, and then repeat for the other side. All right, now that we're at this point and our C-clips are out, we're gonna go ahead and pull these axle shafts out and get ready to pull this carrier. Maybe grab a rag.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, and wipe that one with a rag real quick too.
Yep.
All right, now that we're at this point, we're gonna get this locker connector out of here. Put our bolt down and our bolt pin. So when you get ready to take this locker out, take a pair of pliers in here, gently press that clip, pull this line off, then you can go ahead and take your carrier bolts out. Oh, fell right out. Alrighty. Oh. That's nice.
Yummy.
Alright, you can pause it. Oh, look how bad that oil is, dude.
Yeah, that's just gnarly. Just want to note something. Notice how he put these oriented a certain way when he takes them off. It's very important to do that.
Alright, so we're here at the pinion. We've gotten the carrier taken out. So the reason we're doing all this work, if you listen, there's an awful lot of play in there. That play is probably a mix of things here, but we can guarantee we have bad pinion bearings and the crush sleeve is no longer providing any preload. That spins way too easily. With that said, the reason we're going to go ahead and change the gears and everything, with this being able to bounce and deflect around the way that it has, it messes up the face where the gears mesh together, causing a noise that won't be remedied unless you just get a new gear altogether and a new pinion and get them to get a good mesh pattern once again. So we're going to get this ripped out and we will go ahead and meet you guys back on the bench. A lot of people struggle with taking carriers out. This is the easiest way that we've found to do it. Stick a wrench on your carrier bolt or ring gear bolt. Take a pry bar. It rolls right out. Make sure you hold your shims. And don't drop it. Alright, so we're going through. I forgot to go over the failure, so we're going to go over that right now. So first things first, we have the outer pinion bearing. If you look in there, all that discoloration and like pitted look is wear on these bearings. These are bad. And if you look inside this race, can you see it with the phone?
Yeah, it's focusing.
If you look inside this race, you can see all the little pits in there as well. That's where a lot of this noise is coming from. I cut the original pinion bearing, so we're not going to be able to show that. But in here, I don't know if the phone will pick it up, but there's very, very light pitting started. And it was the same on the rollers of the original pinion bearing. But with all this stuff fixed up, this thing shouldn't make any noise. Another thing we find ourselves doing, which I think is very important, is going through and pre-lubing the bearings before it goes in the axle. A lot of initial gear failures happen from the bearings being dry, and you get out on the road and they generate too much heat. And if you notice, see if you can get that. It's a little stringy, this oil that we use. It's got an additive in there to make it stick to the bearings a little bit better. So if it takes us, say we get to this point in the evening and we pick it back up in the morning, this bearing will still be lubed, sitting in the axle. We don't have to worry about it dripping all the oil off and being a dry start. Wow, that stuff is messy. Yeah, look at that string, baby. We forgot to record taking these out. We've been rushing trying to get this wrapped up. But when you're doing wheel seals and bearings on a C-clip style axle, they are somewhat of a press fit, maybe interference fit is a bit better term. We're just going to take a seal driver like so. Put your bearing in. That one's had a bad time. And then just if you notice that sound change, that means it's bottomed out, it's where it needs to go. You have successfully installed your wheel bearings. Don't forget to pre-lube them. It's alright if you get a little oil in there in the sealing area. Just wipe it clean the best you can. Put your seal like this. Factory seal has a lip that goes over this. This seal does not, so I use a slightly bigger driver. Make it flush. That's good to go. New wheel bearings and seal is installed. All right, we're gonna put these C-clips in. I know it's a little hard to see, but I'm gonna do my best. That's what it looks like. You're gonna have somebody push on the shaft for you. You see it pushes in. You have to have the cross pin out. It's just gonna slide right over that little groove, pull the shaft back out, bam, onto the other side. All right, and again, the other side, he's gonna push in on the shaft. You see it poke all the way out. Put your clip on there. Pull the shaft out. Go to your cross pin, make sure your hole is lined up with your bolt there. Slide it in, grab your bolt. It's got a long nipple on it. As you saw, it did that and centered the pin. So we're gonna take this back out, get some Loctite on there, and get it torqued down. All right, last thing I wanna go over is this pattern. We forgot to video while we were setting this all up. But as you can see, this is what I call the ghost print. This is not where we put paint, it's just where the paint has transferred off of the pinion. I just cleaned off where we put paint by accident because I cleaned out our hole here. But you can see right here, we've got a good profile all the way across the gear on both sides of the gear. It may look like it goes a little bit shallow or a little like teardrop shape here. It's not anything to worry about. You can see up there really good. It goes all the way across that gear. Backlash on this differential was set to 9 thousandths of an inch. Ford spec is 8 to 12 thousandths. All right, we're gonna show you how to paint it since I went ahead and repainted what I cleaned off there. Show you how to check the pattern, not how to paint. I can't speak apparently. So you're gonna get your paint close to the pinion, put some opposing force, rotate it both ways a couple of times, running your pinion through that paint. All right, so we pulled it back out. Now I'm gonna put that there. Let me see. Now, good pattern. Pulled the paint off most of the gear there. Perfect depth. Might be, nah, I'm gonna say that's perfect. Now on this side of the gear, perfect pattern again. Right dead center, all the way across the gear. It's not gonna get any better than this.
What is up, guys? So I've had the truck back for about 5 days now, and I'm actually on a work trip traveling through Alabama and Mississippi. I've put 834 miles on the truck since the gears. I know technically you're supposed to flush it at 500, but this work trip had to happen, so we're gonna flush it when I get back. But this thing is quiet as a mouse. I had no idea how loud those gears actually were until I got in this thing with them fixed. Like, hold on, we'll speed up, and then I'll decel. Quiet as a mouse. Mitchell at Street and Trail Performance did amazing. Not only did he do amazing, I left a phone with him and he recorded that stuff for this video himself. So big shout out to Street and Trail Performance in Lincolnton. He got that done so quick so that I could take this trip, and it feels like a new truck back there. So super happy. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped somebody out there. A lot of great advice that Mitch gave, showing us how he does what he does. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.